Bruce Brasier, a video production teacher, film history teacher, English teacher, former theater teacher.
Cool. So what made you want to start teaching?
Well, I didn't really. I never did until I was about 30, and I had done some acting classes with a friend, and she was teaching acting, and then I liked that part, so I got my certification, and then I ended up going to Bonnie Eagle and student taught with a guy that did video production and theater, and I was living in Seattle at the time. And he said, "Do you want my job?" And I said, "Well, I don't want to fly back to Maine. I've flown back 3 or 4 times. It's expensive." And he said, "No, I'll set it up so you get the interview and the job over the phone."
Wow.
Because he was very big in that town, Seattle, which I wasn't really doing much. I was bartending. It's like I tried teaching, and then I ended up liking it. So came to Biddeford a couple of years later.
Now you're here.
Now I am, yeah.
So what about videography interests you? How'd you start a career in video production and photography and film and that thing?
Well, I've always been super interested, even when I was in high school and even really, really young, in movies. Just never really been all that professional with it. Yeah, I was in some commercials and stuff, but it's never paid the bills. Yeah. So then behind the camera, I like that a lot too. But I learned that after when I started teaching.
So you were like an actor?
No, well, not until my 20s. In high school, I wasn't much of anything. I played guitar in the basement. Didn't do well in school at all. So when in my 20s, I did some acting.
So where did you go to school, and what did you study there?
Well, I have an English degree and a business degree. The next thing I get would be a PhD. I have Masters plus. But that's all my education. I went to USM, St. Joseph's, and Orono for schools, college schools, and high school I went to grad engineering. That's about it for schools, I think. That's enough. I've had enough of school.
But you're still here?
Yes, yeah.
So what do you do in your free time? What are your hobbies?
Oh, well, I golf. I have some motorcycles. I used to surf a lot. I haven't been surfing a lot since the pandemic. And paddleboarding too. I used to have a paddleboard company.
You used to have a paddleboard company?
Well, it was a rental company, so I would bring paddleboards and surfboards to you. A lot of fun. Keeps me busy. And then in the winter, of course, I snowboard and ski.
Wow. So you do a lot of sports?
I do, yeah. I do.
What's your favorite movie and why? You teach film studies.
I do, yeah, I do. So it's a hard one, but I always Casablanca probably.
Ooh.
Just always loved that, just because the great acting, Humphrey Bogart for an old movie. That Casablanca would be my favorite, and for a new one, I'd have to say maybe one of Quentin Tarantino's, maybe like Pulp Fiction or something, a little more modern.
Have you ever made any movies or documentaries? And
No,
even minor ones?
No, I haven't, but I haven't been behind the camera for anything like that.
Have you been in them for this class or official documentaries?
Mostly commercials.
What kind of commercials did you do?
Just local commercials, like there was restaurants, and there was this tire company that used to. Their thing was their kind of commercial was they would roll a tire through famous Maine places. So you'd sit there and point, and the tire would roll by. It was a DeMillo's commercial, radio commercials. I think there was a couple others, and I can't think of them right now.
So how would you describe yourself in 3 words?
Oh,
you talked
geez.
a lot about what you've done with your life and what you've been in and what you enjoy, but what do you think of yourself as?
Oh, that's a hard one. Try not to think of myself too much.
I mean, that's a good trait.
What's a word for that? Not thinking of yourself too much. I have to Google that.
Like the opposite of narcissism?
Yes, yeah.
You're right.
Oh, you've got Google right there. Yeah, opposite of narcissist would be shy, maybe. But that doesn't seem like it's...
Echoism?
Oh, jeez.
So that's one word.
My word, yeah, an echoist. Probably somebody told me this summer that I work like I would live mafia money, so.
So hardworking.
Yeah, I have a lot of jobs. I always have like 3 or 4 jobs going. Right now I have 2 jobs. So looking for a third word. Maybe fashionable. I try to be fashionable. I guess that might be it.
I like that. An egoist, hardworking, and fashionable.
Fashionable. All right. So that'll be 3.
Perfect. If you could travel anywhere in the world, where would you want to go? You said you lived in Seattle.
I did.
Fly out to
Yeah.
Maine.
I lived in Seattle, Baltimore, Florida.
Oh wow! So you've already been all over.
Well, I haven't. I haven't been in the middle really. Like I've only been on the coast, and I haven't been to California. I was just talking to somebody.
Just flying across.
Yeah. Literally, just like if you heard, like stars, ooh, fly over states. Like literally, I haven't been. Pittsburgh's the farthest inland I've been, and I've liked it. But like, if you were going to hand me a blank check right now and go somewhere, I'd probably go to Japan.
Ooh.
I've never been to Japan. When I travel, I try to. I don't really have a big agenda. Like I'll go see. Like if I was going to go to Paris, I'd go see the Eiffel Tower, of course. But I like to spend minimal time in touristy kind of things, and just cafes and restaurants, and hang out in certain areas. I want to go to Iceland, but my understanding is that's pretty. I've been doing a small town thing where I'll just go to small towns in the U.S. And, like I love Littleton, New Hampshire. It's just a weird little town, and it's great. Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, that was a blast. Just having fun in small towns.
Yeah. Okay, one last question.
Oh.
What was your favorite subject in school, and how did that impact your life and where you are today? And do you still enjoy this topic?
I guess creative writing was the class that everybody pushed me to. Made me keep going. Even in high school, all my writing teachers.
Yeah, you said you had an English degree?
Yeah. So all my creative writing teachers have been pretty good and pushed me. It's a good idea. Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, of course. Well, I guess that's it.
That's it. All right.
Thank you.
Well, thank you. That. She needs editing.